how does capitalism emerge in the first place? Not so much by directly persuading people of its truth, but by removing institutions or organizations which could challenge it.
Hello everybody, and welcome to this new episode of Under the Label, the series dedicated to experimental music and research labels and their releases. And today we are going to listen to the music of Sofa Music, which is a label from Norway that focuses his work around the ideas of electroacoustic, improvisation, microtonal music. There are a lot of interesting stuff in their catalog. So today I'm going to make a small selection. First of all, I want also to say that this episode will be a little bit shorter than the usual one. So it will be like 1 hour and a half long instead of 2. But we will listen to a lot of interesting stuff. So let's move directly to the label page, so we can start. Here it is. Let me link it also in the chat. Nice. So the first listening for today, it's by Vilde and Inga, and it's called How Forests Think. Let's read the description, to understand a little bit more of the concept behind this release. The sensation of placeness can come from a feeling of clarity as well as from a sense of mystery, from restraint or experiential abundance, regularity or spontaneity. A place has boundaries, size and scale, but it can be immense, such as a continent or a country, large as a city or an urban square or boulevard, small as one's home or individual room, or intimate as one's favorite seat in a cafe. Understanding Architecture by Robert McCarter, Giovanni Pallasma and Giovanni Pallasma. How Forests Think is the third album of this extraordinary duo. The album explores 4 completely different places in the Oslo area, letting the acoustic conditions and the poetic meanings of each place become an essential part of the music making. The pieces stem from recordings in Immanuel Vigeland Mausoleum, the new tone studio by a lake in the forest outside of Oslo, and at the Arbor in the city center of Oslo. This double album is a deep and beautiful journey into a new chapter in Vilde and Inga's search for undiscovered relationship between sound and spaces in their music. Sofa Music is very proud of this work and it comes highly recommended. Vilde and Inga, How Forests Think. And that was How Forests Think by Vilde and Inga. Super interesting use of the instruments, very minimal. Interesting use of the timbres. Super nice. Really, really nice release. But let's move on to the next one. And the next listening for today, it's from Laissez Passage, and it's called Sunwards. Artist and songwriter Laissez Passage is releasing his third record. I read it in with a French accent. I don't know if he is French actually, but anyway, yeah. Is releasing his third record, Sunwards, an album that came into being while traveling alone with an acoustic guitar in Mexico. At first glance, Sunwards is a handful of charming and catchy pop songs, but upon a closer listen, a more complex emotional landscape emerges, backed up by elaborate arrangements and detailed production. On his journey in Mexico, he reflects on leaving certain things behind in order to initiate new beginnings, in love as in life. All judiciously dosed with a dark humor and self-irony, making the somewhat universal topics personal yet relatable. Traveling for me has always been an inspirational activity tied to my songwriting. Usually, when I set out, I have no other fixed point than bringing my guitar and maybe a return date. It is easy to let oneself be seduced by the beautiful musical harmonies, soothing arrangements, and Laissez's delicate voice. But already in the opening track, Miles Away, we find sharp and apologetic observation that keeps the listener awake. It is precisely this contrast with its layers in both text and music that give the record its own nerve and makes it an album that keeps growing on you. Laissez Passage, Sunwards.
Not the slightest chance that this could work. As slowly I recall your time, I came down here to have some fun with you, but we are miles away from having a good day. Then you remind me that I knew you well. Well, that must have been a cold day in hell. Your name dropping is falling on deaf ears, 'cause there's a world out there with people that don't care about the things that you say, about the things that you do. And I'm one and I'm looking at you. Lady, I'm sorry it turned out this way, that I'm sitting here thinking about how I could dodge away. 'Cause you are like wind on a sunny day, and it's a shame that you don't even see what you're doing. You shoulder away everyone that once knew you, to prove you got things going on, to prove you got things going on, to prove you got things going on. Ooh. wonder if you hooked up with yourself. You two probably beat off in each corner of the bed. And now you wanna tell me that it's hard to find someone to hold your heart that's made of gold. Your swaggering dress can never conceal your general lack of keeping it real. Sorry, not sorry, honey, I gotta leave. The dog ate my homework, you wouldn't believe. And it's a shame that you don't even seem to be learning. When you open your mouth, the ground starts burning. To prove you got things going on. To prove you got things going on. Prove you got things going on. I didn't play with open cards before. But the things you trigger is letting me know it's something that could be good and true. My heartbeat. You increase my heartbeat. You increase my heartbeat. But you say you want nothing, you just want things to float. I tell you I can be a rock if you need to be a boat. Hammer me down with those arms. You do it with ease and charm. that's how you run aground. Repeat, repeat. You increase my heartbeat. You increase my heartbeat. I increase your heartbeat. I increase your heartbeat. You increase my heartbeat. You increase my heartbeat. I increase your heartbeat. I increase your heartbeat. You aiming for the pelvis. You want me on the floor. You're tampering with my luck. You like to make me insecure. And you smile when I fall down. Yeah, you love that butchy sound. And when I say it's hurting, you don't stop. I cannot say it's flirting, that's sure enough. You don't know how hard I'm pushing just to hold things up. You wake up early in the morning. You're around me like a shoe. You're with me in the mirror. Like if you die, I would die too. But there's nothing to that math, though you fooled me into that. 'Cause I can live without you, it's you who don't. I could silence up the chatter that I don't want. And if I am daydreaming, it's of goodbye. Oh darling, don't be sad if I go out with the trash and disappear into the night. I'm sure you didn't mean to pick a fight, but just in case I packed my bags and booked a flight. You're sneaking up at midnight when I'm about to sleep, comparing me to others. You're trying to make me weep, but honey, can't you see? Life's not a hierarchy. You don't know how I'm feeling, and you don't care. Like arguing with Israel, God save me a prayer. 'Cause I didn't come around here to be knocked straight out. I'm gonna leave you now, goodbye, and say hello to the next poor guy your high heels stepping on. I'm gonna take some time to think, and my toes into the sand and drink white wine.
And that was Sun Words by Lasse Passage. Beautiful work, really. I don't know, I'm a little bit speechless because of the quality. It's really amazing. Beautiful lyrics, beautiful arrangements, super good recordings. Mwah! Beautiful, really, really beautiful work. I strongly suggest you to listen to the whole of it. But of course, we need to move on to the next listening because we have a lot of stuff and not that much time as usual. Also today the live stream is a little bit shorter than the usual 2 hours, so it's like 1 hour and a half of live stream. So let's move on to the next listening. As you can hear, there are many different type of music inside of this label. So yeah, the next one is Mille Feuilles. I don't know if I pronounced it correctly, but it's French for 1,000 leaves, and the artist is Owl. Mille Feuilles was recorded during 3 days at Flerbrucket, an old school building at Hemnes, which now is a workplace for artists of all sorts. Owl, Signe Hemmelut and Karl Bjora. I'm probably pronouncing everything wrong, but yeah, forgive me, please. Worked here together with sound technician Magnus Nergard, with recording that later would turn into the duo's debut album. The music is the result of a couple of years working with different ideas of improvisation and composition. Both musicians have their opinions on how much or little control you bring into the music, or in what way you choose to react to the other, and in what tempo reaction and interactions should occur. All these elements affect how a piece is experienced and how it progresses. Uncontrolled elements and surprising changes can both interrupt and coexist with already established motifs. Working with both controlled and uncontrolled impulses at the same time gives the music a depth and feeling of intense focus. The album title Mille Feuilles, named after the French cake, translates to 1,000 layers, which became a common thread in the artistic process. In Italy, we called that specific cake mille foglie, which literally means 1,000 leaves, not layers, but also in French it means 1,000 leaves. But of course, it's because there are so many super thin layers in this cake. So yeah, interesting. Karl Bjora and Signe Hemmelut are musicians and composers residing in Oslo. They work in the field of improvised and contemporary music, but take part in a wide range of projects within this framework, in groups such as Megalodon Collective, Yes Dear, Moodskipper, and Hemmelut's Ameba. They both studied jazz and improvised music at the Music Conservatory in Trondheim, and were an important part of the young and vital music scene while living there. Whole. Mille Feuilles. And that was Milfoil by Owl. Owl. Super nice dialogue between electric guitar and electronics and trumpet or saxophone. Yeah, probably it was a saxophone. Super nice. But let's move on to the next listening. The next one that I choose, it's called Choosing to Sing by Jan Martin Smørdal. I think it's pronounced like that. I don't know. Sorry for the bad pronunciation. And Ensemble Neon and Having Learning. Sofa is very happy to extend our catalog with the new release from composer Jan Martin Smørdal, Ensemble Neon, and trumpeter Eivind Lønning. As a composer and as a father of twins, Smørdal is occupied with talks about chaos, layers of rhythms, and the inevitability of humans as social beings. His works span from solo works to pieces for orchestra, choir, and installations. In recent years, his music has been inspired by topics or phenomena like emergence, swarm behavior, and patterns found in flocks in nature. Smørdal is choosing to sing. This is a composition for Ensemble Neon with the inclusion of the outstanding trumpeter Eivind Lønning. Based on scores and instruction, I have created a huge catalog from which this music was again composed. The result is a work in 2 parts, each in 4 segments, spanning from the most intimate, nothing, to close to white noise, everything. The music explores the ever-changing space found in both repetition and in reaction. But the process of creating this music has also made me aware of the seemingly lack of order that is necessary for something to emerge as meaningful. Choosing to sing. That was a little, at the beginning, a little part of Choosing to Sing by young Martin Smurdal. Of course, we are close to the end of the live stream, so we're gonna listen to 2 more releases. And the next one, it's called The Waves by Espen Sommerheide. An album and a building. From November 2019 to February 2020, Espen Sommerheide is presenting his new sound exhibition, The Waves, at Mars in Maastricht. The idea from the beginning was to make both a spatial album as well as material for the exhibition. In the year preceding the sound exhibition, Sommerheide recorded the album with the help of several artists and musicians, and with instruments that were specially designed for this project. The pieces cause a collective stream of consciousness that make the spaces, architecture and history of the house tangible. Following the shadows of the musicians, the audience experience a musical journey that transports them from one room to the next. They hear sequences, melodies, and rhythms, where the voices and perspective of the performers are multiplied and heard from many angles at once, as in an imaginary hall of sound mirrors. A music that highlights the building itself as container for possible worlds, unobserved, unoccupied by any particular subject. The Waves by Espen Sommerheide.
The barking of 1,000 dogs at night, at the limit of earshot, distant, disembodied sounds, at the edges of the private world, the external signs of other worlds. Night flowing down, a rotating lighthouse, the city seen through a mist, distant and peaceful and strange. The sheep coughed. One flower bent slightly towards another. Car wheels rushed ceaselessly in a circle. Leaves sighed overhead. Voices came to her very strangely, floating like flowers on water, cut off from all, like a faint scent. A violin next door, emanating from other worlds. The voices of unseen speakers, the music of unseen musicians. Someone was practicing scales. Some insect dashed at her, boomed in her ear, and was gone. A door opened and shut. Snow flopped from a branch. Otherwise, all was silent. voices. They raise at half-heard melody, the tremor of cut grass in the evening. One after another the sounds die out, and the harmony falters, and silence falls for the sleepers in the house, as the curtains of dark wrap themselves over the house, so that they lay with several folds of blackness on their eyes. The mantle of silence wove into itself the falling cries of birds, the drone and hum of the fields, a dog's bark, a man's shout, and folded them round the house in silence, the interval of sleep, until the chorus beginning. The years passed one after another across the sky. Each spread the same ripple, like signals from sunken islands. The being raised rings like a tree, an eye, an ear, a window. A countable series. The little airs that invade the house scarcely disturb the peace, the indifference, the air of pure integrity, in which loveliness and stillness clasp hands. This smoke, this fine early morning air, breath, smoke, clouds, seen but not touched, amorphous formlessness manifests itself in a random wandering, dancing nuts.
And that was The Waves by Esper Sommerheide. Super nice album taken from, this idea of placing sound into a space and, telling the space through sound, telling the function and, the mood of the space and the architecture through sound. Super interesting release. And yeah, we are close to the end of the live stream. I have 10 more minutes and one last listening for you. I hope you enjoyed this episode. It was kind of, shorter one, but I think that we had a good, a good view on the variety of things that Sofa Music releases. There are such amazing artists and such amazing music in there, so of course, as usual, I strongly suggest you to check their page and their website. And yeah, let's close this live stream with Propan. The album is called Trending. Sofa Music is proud to welcome a new project on board. It's Propan, a duo comprising the two Norwegian vocalists Natalie Garner and Ina Sagstuen. Propan's new album, Trending, will be released worldwide in September the 6th, 2019. So it's, kind of 2 years old album. On their second album, Propan continues its research within the frameworks of the song form and presents a psychedelic and more delirious soundscape than on its first, somewhat more electroacoustic album, Baby. The duo explores the meeting point between improvised music and studio production and builds the album around Propan's well-established expression. With beats, grooves, melodies, and layers of voices, the duo presents improvised music in a new and different light on an album that sounds open, inspired, and solid. Propan, Trending.
Yeah.